Hey guys, I'm back again with another project with Dominick Troy. So listen, first things first, you have to start with your sketch. Your sketch is important because that's the way you format your piece in design. And sometimes when you don't have the sketch, it kind of makes it harder to have a final product that you really enjoy and happy with. So here with this piece, what I'm doing is I'm doing a really cool long arm holding a hand with a light bulb. It's going to be about, I would say, 4 to 5 feet tall, so really more abstract than actual arm. You're gonna need a wire cutter, wire of course, and then most important, your hands. So next from there, you have to kind of measure out your palm size. I'm using my actual palm and hand to measure how big I want the hand to be for this sculpture. So I cut off about, I would say, 4 feet, 6 feet of wire to start off with and start wrapping it around in a circular motion. Right now I'm doing it that way because normally you go in and out of the wire, but since I'm going to be adding the actual light wire inside of it, I need that hollow space in the middle. So I'm going more towards a circular motion and kind of making the wire be more hollow in the middle of the palm so I can have space to add the wire in the middle. You might be asking why I'm not adding the wire while I'm doing the piece. It can be kind of frustrating and kind of out the way, so I'd rather just do it later on and maybe cut through it if I have to. So from here, now I'm just adding more wire and kind of just molding the palm first. The palm is important first because that's the solid base of the hand. So you always start off with that first to really get a perfect solid structure of a hand. I normally start off with the thumb first. To me, it's the most, I guess, by itself part of the fingers. So getting that done first and really get the idea of how the hand's gonna be shaped is a good starter for people who are not really good at making hands. And then kind of measure it to see if it fits where you want it. And it looks pretty good for right now where I'm at. Then I get more wire to start the next hand. And that's normally, I would say, the index finger. With the index finger, I'm actually adding more wire individually, but make sure that you're going through the palm so it makes sure it's a nice sturdy hand and keep on wrapping around so you know that it's sturdy. And then from there, you kind of just twist and move until you have a good length. And right now, it looks pretty accurate to my actual hand. Now, the next step is the middle finger. Of course, the middle finger goes in the middle of the palm. From there, I took an extra piece of wire and started that process. Make sure you go through the palm to make sure that the hands and fingers are secure in one piece. As you see, I'm measuring the hands to make sure that it's the right length. As you see, the middle finger is a little bit longer, but that's perfect because at the end, I'm going to twist that little piece to make it the perfect length for what I want. As you're making these pieces, make sure you always check the size and the shape of your structure so it really connects with the shape of your hand. Really important. Make sure you adjust, and then the next part is making the other piece of the hand. I'm making the wires a little shorter than six feet. I'm doing more, so maybe about 3 feet of wires or half of the actual palm process, and still always checking to make sure it's perfect. As you can see, I have most of the hands attached to it. Only thing really left is just the pinky. Just like the thumb, the pinky is a little different and separate from the thumb. It's a little shorter from the rest of the hands. So make sure you make the pinky a little bit lower on the palm area. Also, once again, make sure that you're going through the actual palm to make the actual fingers and limbs sturdy and connect well with the rest of the piece. And so far, it looks pretty good. I'm happy with the size of the hand, the shape, and the structure of it. So I'm enjoying where I'm at in this moment, just adding some more strength to the piece. So it's really, really sturdy for when I add the paper mache or whatever materials you're going to use for the skeleton. Now the last part of this is now making a little bit of a wrist. So when I add the actual wire piece to the wrist of the arm, it's going to connect perfectly. Also, you can maybe see there's always a little hump or lump in the palm where your thumb's at. It comes out more than the rest of the hand. So make sure that it has that girth there around that thumb area. So when you add the light to it, it can have a nice little seat for the light bulb. The next part is bringing the light bulb in to see how I'm going to really have the hand attached to the light bulb. So I'm trying to almost pose my hand to see how I want the actual structure in the piece to really be holding this light bulb. The next part is the cylinder for the hand. The cylinder is going to be the arm for the piece. So what I'm doing is fitting the wrist inside of this long piece of cardboard thing I found in the basement of my apartment. No judgment here. So that being said, I'm still fitting the hand, make sure it's the right shape, size, and form for the size of tubing, and just fitting and see where it goes. The next step is to put the cord through the wire. This is the most hardest part for me right now because I didn't fully think it through, but I had the idea that would be fine because once again, in the beginning of the video, I told you guys that I'm making the actual wrist more hollow. So by me doing that, I can easily, well, not easily, but put the wire through the hand so the wire has a home in this piece. So I had a little bit of difficulty trying to get the clicker or the switch into the wire because it's pretty big. Didn't think about it, but I got it in there. Next, I'm going to see if I can add the whole piece into one and see how it's looking. And so far, I'm excited about where it's at. It's looking pretty good, and I'm going to keep on going with that. And after this, I'm going to add the paper to the bottom of the cylinder to give it a really cool, more of a triangular, small to big vibe. Next is the tape. The tape is going to secure the piece, pretty much the wrist to the hand. And I'm doing that by just using some regular old shipping tape and kind of just wrapping around the piece where I can really make sure that it's perfectly attached to it by going around the thumb and other parts of the fingers to make sure that is where I want it to be. And then after that, I'm going to be adding more wire on top of that to really make it really secure. Now, I didn't make it really thick with the tape, so I can actually poke through the tape with the wire. So that really helps with securing the pieces and making it all into one skeleton for the paper mache process. last step for the skeleton of this piece is I got more wire. Now this wire is silver and the color really doesn't matter, but it's thinner. The thinner wire helps out because it makes the piece more dense and gives you more details and really kind of helps mold the piece that you're making. So after I did that, I'm just now adjusting and see if I like the shape of the hand and how it looks all together as a skeleton. So when I do add the paper mache, it's perfect. So that's about it, guys. So hopefully you enjoy what I did, and this is the first steps to this cool light fixtures I'm working on for my collection. And I hope that helped you guys with like wire and just making a skeleton for a piece or a sculpture. Stay tuned for the next.